Welcome to Neural Newscast for January 13th, 2026. I am Richard Lawson.
And I'm Cole Mercer. You know, Richard, today we are tracking some pretty significant shifts in institutional stability, ranging from the halls of the Federal Reserve all the way to the highest courts in France.
Yeah, it is a lot to cover. We start with what looks like intensifying friction between media personalities and the nation's central bank. Conservative commentator Jeanine Pirro has recently, she has significantly ramped up her criticism of Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell. Now, this move comes despite some pretty significant backlash from people who argue the Fed's independence is absolutely vital for economic stability. Cole, this looks like more than just a media cycle. It feels like a direct challenge to the norms of financial governance.
Richard, it certainly is. From a national security perspective, the stability and the perceived independence of the Federal Reserve are critical to global market confidence. When highly influential voices begin targeting the leadership of the central bank so aggressively, it creates a volatile environment. We are seeing a move toward politicizing an institution that has traditionally been, it's usually been insulated from partisan rhetoric. The big concern here is how that might affect long-term fiscal policy.
Right. It is a situation we will be watching closely as the administration responds. While we are seeing this domestic tension over institutional boundaries, the European political landscape is facing its own existential legal battle.
That is right. In Paris, Marine Le Pen has officially begun her appeal process. She is fighting a conviction for embezzling European Union funds, a case that resulted in her being banned from seeking public office for 5 years. Now, if this ban is upheld, she will be disqualified from the 2027 French presidential election. That's a massive deal.
The stakes are incredibly high for the National Rally Party. Le Pen told the court she has no sense of having committed an offense and shifted the blame back toward the European Parliament. She's basically claiming they failed to raise the alarm. Cole, if she is barred from the 2027 race, the entire dynamic of the French far right changes overnight.
Exactly. Her party president, Jordan Bardella, has already called the prospect of her exclusion a threat to democracy. There are several paths the court could take, including keeping the conviction but removing the immediate ban, which would allow her to run while further appeals proceed. We won't likely have a ruling until this summer, but the internal security implications of a disenfranchised national rally base are something French authorities are likely monitoring. It's a real powder keg.
Totally. Well, from the gravity of European courtrooms, let's turn to a major shakeup in American professional sports that reflects a different kind of strategic restructuring. It's a bit of a pivot, but interesting nonetheless.
Yeah, it is. The Arizona Diamondbacks have made a definitive move to bolster their defense and veteran leadership. They acquired 8-time All-Star third baseman Nolan Arenado in a trade with the St. Louis Cardinals.
The details of this deal are quite striking, you know. The Cardinals are sending $31 million to Arizona to cover a massive portion of the $42 million remaining on Arenado's contract. This marks a full-scale rebuild for St. Louis, as they have now moved 3 players with no trade clauses this winter.
It is a fascinating pivot, Richard. Arenado, who is 34, waived his no-trade clause specifically to facilitate this. For the Diamondbacks, it is about stability. General Manager Mike Hazen noted that they aren't asking him to carry the offense, but rather to stabilize a defense that has been a priority for them this offseason.
It certainly sets the stage for a new-look NL West as spring training approaches. Well, that brings us to the end of our briefing for today.
Thank you for joining us. I'm Cole Mercer.
And I am Richard Lawson. We will see you back here tomorrow. Neural Newscast is AI-assisted, human-reviewed. View our AI transparency policy at neuralnewscast.com.